There's a theory out there that using a litter robot or an automatic litter box can actually save you cat litter because supposedly it uses less litter, which, if that is true, would be great because wouldn't we all like to save money on cat litter? So in this video, I'm going to put that theory to the test. So the reason why an automatic litter box may save you money on cat litter is because basically, the longer a litter clump is sitting around in the litter box, the more time it has to grow and expand. And so with a litter robot, if you were able to scoop out the litter pretty much immediately, then there's a good chance you can get the litter clump while it is still pretty small. Also, I think there's some other things that could play into this. Potentially, you might have less tracking with an automatic litter box that kind of contains everything. So maybe that will help cut down on litter. Also, I think maybe there's some things just about the litter filtering mechanism that might be a little bit better than just hand scooping litter. I don't know, but basically, for this experiment, we have a few things. So I have my litter robot here. I will be completely emptying out the litter box and starting with a brand new thing of litter. I also just have a regular litter box. So how I'm going to be doing this experiment is I'll do this over 2 weeks. I'll do 1 week where I'm exclusively using the litter robot with Gordon, and then I will do another week where I only have this litter box available to him, just so there's no impact of if he prefers one litter box over the other. There's nothing like that that would influence the results. Now, for this experiment, I picked out just a regular kind of run-of-the-mill store brand clumping clay-based cat litter. I picked this out for a few reasons. Number one, clay-based litter is the most popular kind of litter. So I think hopefully this can be most relevant to the majority of you. And then also, automatic litter boxes generally do recommend that you use a clumping cat litter, and a lot of them recommend clay. So that's why I chose this litter. This one is about 1% heavier than this one, but the difference was only about 35 grams. So I'm still going to use both of these litters, but I did take note of this so we can make sure to incorporate that into the final results. Okay, so I've taken the measurements of the litter, and at the end, before we share the final numbers, I will take all the measurements of the empty containers, of the bags, all of that, just to make sure this is a totally fair comparison. But to share with you the weights that I have right now, including the trash bag that they are in, the bag of litter, so this is the clean litter without the clumps, this currently weighs 1,953 grams, and then the bag of clumps weighs 2,320 grams. So the first number, 1,953 grams, that is the number to beat. So if in the next experiment we end up with more than 1,953 grams, that means that after a week we have more remaining clean litter, and that also means we've been using less litter throughout the week. So I am very curious to see how this next week goes. I'm going to get the regular litter box set up with the litter, and I will start the clock so we have the exact same amount of time for each of these experiments, and we'll see the results. Okay, it is now the next week. It is about 2:40 p.m. So it is exactly the same amount of time that I did the first experiment. And I just went ahead and scooped out the final scoops from this regular litter box. I have all of the scoops here. I've been using this trash can exclusively for the scoops all week, which I have to say is definitely not the same level of odor control as you should get with the litter robot. So that has not been quite as fun for me this week, but we have everything ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and empty out this litter so I can get the final measurements, take the weights of the remaining litter and the clumps, and see what the winner is. Okay, so I just did the experiment, and I'm going to be honest, these results are really shocking to me. So when I took the measurements, remember from the litter robot, I had 1,953 grams of clean litter remaining. And with the regular litter box, I had 2,982 grams. So I had about 1,000 grams more. So that is pretty shocking to me. Now I think these results are so surprising that I think there's no choice but to repeat this experiment again. It's possible that even though I was using the exact same amount of time, that Gordon maybe had a different bathroom habits this week. So I think we're going to do this again and see if we get a consistent results. Yeah, because I am very surprised. If this is true, then maybe the litter robot actually uses way more litter. That would be surprising to me, but let's test again and see if this results continues. I just got back from the store. I picked up 2 containers of Purina Tidy Cat. This is a similar clay litter to what I used in the first one, but it is a different brand. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing I did the first time around. I'm gonna take measurements of these and then go ahead and get it into the litter robot. I wanna get this set up right away to make sure Gordon has a litter box. He's like circling around. He's looking for his litter box. So we need to make sure we have this filled and ready for him. Let's do it. Hey everyone, it is 1 week later. You guys know the drill. I'm going to empty this out, take all the measurements, weigh the litter, the clumps, as well as the clean litter. I'll record everything and then I'm gonna immediately start the next week's worth of tests. So I'm gonna disconnect the litter robot. And so Gordon for the next week will exclusively be using just the standard litter box. Let's get started cleaning this out and doing all those calculations. So I am now here after completing the second experiment, and I have to say the results are incredibly surprising to me, and I have a hard time explaining them because the second experiment was almost exactly the same as the first. In both experiments, after I crunch all the numbers, the first experiment, the litter robot used 183% more litter. And then in the second experiment, it used about 160% more litter. So about 3 times as much litter was used by the litter robot compared to just a standard litter box. I have to believe that there is something weird going on with my litter robot because this is just so drastically different compared to what people say online about the litter robot saving them litter, because I don't know what's going on with my litter robot, but it is just eating up litter and I am just going through a lot more litter with litter robot and I don't know why. I really don't know why. If anyone has any ideas or other ways to adjust this experiment, I would love to try it out again and just make sure and just confirm my initial findings. But right now, I definitely cannot say the litter robot will save you any litter. It might actually take up a lot more litter. So very surprising results, but let me know in the comments if you have any other ideas for future experiments that I can try. And till next time, bye.